Human character is one of those things that can't be measured easily. We often think we know someone well, only to realize later that we were wrong. People can be charming, polite, and even generous when they want to be. But the real measure of someone's character doesn't appear when everything is easy. It shows up when they're under pressure or when they have power over someone else. Psychologists have long been fascinated by this question. How can we truly see a person's real character? And while there are many ways to analyze behavior, two situations stand out more than any other. How someone treats those who can't offer them anything in return, and how they behave when things don't go their way. Let's start with the first one. How someone treats people who have no power, no influence, and no advantage to offer. In everyday life, we can see this in small but revealing moments. Watch how someone speaks to a waiter, a cleaner, a receptionist, or even a child. Do they show the same respect and kindness they would to their boss or a friend they admire? Because kindness that depends on status isn't really kindness, it's calculation. When people are polite only to those who can benefit them, it means their behavior is driven by self-interest, not genuine goodness. Real character, in contrast, shows when someone treats everyone with basic human dignity, regardless of who that person is. There's an old saying that the true test of a man's character is how he treats someone who can do him absolutely no good. Psychologically, this connects to what's called empathic concern, the ability to care about another person's feelings without expecting anything in return. People with high empathic concern don't adjust their kindness based on social hierarchy. They see value in others simply because they recognize shared humanity. This mindset tends to appear early in life and is often shaped by a combination of secure attachment in childhood and emotional modeling from parents or caregivers. When children grow up in environments where respect is mutual, they learn to give respect naturally, not selectively. On the other hand, those who are dismissive or rude to service workers or people of lower status are often showing what psychologists call conditional regard. They give value only when it benefits them. These people tend to have more narcissistic traits, such as entitlement, lack of empathy, and an inflated sense of superiority. It's not always visible at first, because narcissism often hides behind charm and confidence. But subtle clues, like impatience with unimportant people or a need to dominate conversations, eventually reveal that their kindness is performative. The second key to seeing someone's true character lies in observing how they react when things go wrong, when they're frustrated, disappointed, or criticized. Most people can appear calm and kind when they're in control, but emotional stress strips away the social mask. In psychology, this is known as ego depletion, a state in which our mental energy for self-control runs out. Under stress, the real personality surfaces. A person who's truly compassionate and self-aware might feel angry or upset, but still avoid hurting others. Meanwhile, someone with poor emotional regulation will lash out, blame others, or act cruelly when faced with frustration. For example, think of someone who loses a game or faces a small inconvenience. Do they accept it with grace, or do they become defensive and aggressive? A small event can reveal a lot. Studies on emotional intelligence show that people with high self-awareness are better at managing impulses. They don't let a bad mood justify bad behavior. But people who rely on external validation, who constantly need to feel superior or right, often react poorly when reality challenges their ego. Their response under stress exposes the truth about their emotional maturity. This doesn't mean that people who get angry are automatically bad. Anger is a normal human emotion. The key difference is in how it's handled. A person of strong character recognizes anger without letting it control their actions. They might take a breath, express their frustration calmly, or walk away until they can think clearly. In contrast, a person with weak character uses anger as a weapon through insults, manipulation, or silent treatment. This difference is rooted in what psychologists call emotional regulation, a skill linked to self-control, empathy, and resilience. Now, imagine a workplace setting. Two employees receive criticism from their manager. One listens, feels uncomfortable, but tries to understand the feedback and improve. The other immediately blames the manager, accuses them of bias, and refuses to take responsibility. The first person's reaction reflects humility and growth-oriented thinking, while the second shows defensiveness and fragile ego. Both people's reactions reveal far more about their character than their words ever could. Similarly, when people gain power, whether it's in a job, relationship, or friendship, the way they handle that power is extremely telling. Power amplifies personality. It doesn't corrupt everyone, but it magnifies what's already there. A kind person becomes more generous. A cruel person becomes more controlling. Psychologists refer to this as the power paradox. Power doesn't necessarily create corruption. It exposes the values that were already dormant. That's why you can't truly know someone until you see them in a position of influence or authority. Think about relationships too. When one partner is vulnerable, how does the other respond? Do they protect that vulnerability or do they exploit it? True character shows in those intimate moments where no one else is watching. A good partner won't use your weaknesses against you, even in arguments. A manipulative one will store them like ammunition. This dynamic is closely related to what psychologists call secure versus insecure attachment. Those with secure attachment tend to act with consistency and care, even under stress. Those with insecure attachment often oscillate between controlling and withdrawing behaviors, signs of emotional instability and lack of self-trust. When we combine these two key observations, how people treat the powerless and how they handle adversity, we start to see a pattern. Both situations strip away the social masks people wear in daily life. They remove the incentives for pretending. Without reward or comfort, people revert to their authentic patterns. And that authenticity, even if unpleasant, is what reveals their real character. This understanding is not just useful for judging others. It's equally important for self-reflection. Ask yourself, how do I treat those who can't help me? How do I behave when I'm frustrated or criticized? These questions are uncomfortable but powerful. They help reveal not just who others are, but who we are becoming. Because character isn't static, it's shaped by the choices we make every day. Each moment we choose empathy over arrogance or patience over impulse, we strengthen the parts of ourselves that define real integrity. In therapy, one of the goals is to help people close the gap between their ideal self and actual self. Many people believe they are kind, fair, and patient, but their behavior under stress may not align with that image. Through self-awareness, we can observe our reactions without judgment and gradually recondition them. The more conscious we become of how we treat others and manage our emotions, the closer we move toward genuine character growth. It's also important to remember that character is not about being perfect. Everyone has moments of weakness or frustration. What matters is consistency and accountability. A person of integrity admits when they've done wrong and tries to make it right. Someone lacking character denies, deflects, or blames others. Accountability is the bridge between mistakes and moral growth. It's what separates emotional maturity from emotional immaturity. In daily life, these lessons can guide how we choose friends, partners, and even leaders. If someone speaks kindly only when it's convenient or becomes cruel under pressure, those are warning signs. Pay attention not to what people say about themselves, but to what they reveal through patterns of behavior. True character is quiet, steady, and consistent. It doesn't need to perform goodness. It simply practices it. Ultimately, to see someone's true character, watch how they treat those beneath them and how they act when things fall apart. These two moments reveal everything words try to hide. Because when people have nothing to gain and nothing to lose, they stop pretending. And in that space, their real self finally appears.